everyone, the brilliant mind here. I'm going to do a little different tutorial. I'm going to teach you how to create Minecraft mods without coding. We are going to use the tool called MCreator. Link is in the description, and how to download the software is also in the description below. So after you downloaded and created a workspace, click this plus icon and you can see these mod elements. So today's mod pack includes a sword crafting recipe, a mob holding the sword, and a creative inventory tab. So first we are going to create the sword itself. Click the plus icon and click tool. Then I am going to name the tool custom sword for the sake of the tutorial. You can name it anything you want, but you cannot include spaces or it will give you an error. Create new tool and the tool texture. Okay, if you take a diamond sword for an example, then this is the texture of the diamond sword. So we have to create a texture similar to this. So let me show you how to create one. Then if you select this box here, then click create texture. I already created a texture, but I'm going to show you how you can do it too. So I'm going to create a 25 by 25 grid, and there you go. And let's create a sword. Time lapse. Okay, now we have created the sword. Looks pretty terrible, but it will work for now. Now I have created the texture. Now I am going to save it. Click save this texture and select item, because sword falls into the item category. So save it as, I am going to call it custom sword texture. Then click OK to save it. So I have already created one that doesn't look so terrible, so I'm going to select that one. You can select the model we just created. Okay, so you named leave the item model as it is. So the special information means when you hover your mouse onto the tool in the creative inventory tab, this message will get displayed. So I'm going to call it the sword created for the sake of this tutorial. And then the next one, properties tab. It's very important that you select the type as sword, and we are going to create our own creative inventory tab, so leave it as it is. So the harvest level means, so I need to make this stronger than netherite. So if the netherite harvest level is 4, I'm going to make it 6. The efficiency, if the netherite tool have the efficiency of 9, so I'm going to make it like 15. Yeah, 15 will do. And the enchantability, I'm going to make it 4. Attack speed, it will be 2. A player has 10 hearts, it means 20 health points, so I'm going to make this 10. No, 10 is very strong. I'm going to make it 8. The durability is when you use this tool this amount of times, the tool will break. This is a very good tool, so I'm going to make it 150. The next thing is how to repair this item. You know how to repair an item, so you put the broken item, the item which has lost durability in one slot. The other slot you put a specific block or an item, then it will get repaired. Okay, then we are going to specify that specific block. So I'm going to use a diamond. Yes, I'm going to use a diamond sword, which makes sense, of course. Then you can leave this as it is. Because you cannot define this property, because sword won't destroy blocks. If you select this as a pickaxe, of course you can define it. And then if the tool is immune to fire, it means that if you throw it in lava or throw it in fire, if the item burns, then it is not immune to fire. If it doesn't burn, it is immune to fire. So if you want your item to be immune to fire, check this box. I of course needs it to be immune to fire. Just ignore this one, it is not necessary. And the triggers, this is an advanced topic. I can discuss it in the next tutorial. So select save and keep open, because if you select save mode element, it will save the item and close this tab. So I don't want to open it again. I am a little bit lazy today. And then we are going to create the crafting recipe. So select recipe here, and this you can rename it anything you want. This won't get displayed in Minecraft. I'm going to say craft sword, craft custom sword. Okay, click enter. If you want it to be a crafting type, select crafting. You can select smelting, brewing, blasting, smoking, stone cutting, campfire cooking, smithing. Swords are normally crafted, so I'm going to select crafting. Registry name, just ignore this. It means the unique ID your Minecraft item has. The namespace, I'm going to of course leave it as a mod. And the XP reward only will be available if, so XP rewards will be only unlocked if you select smelting or blasting, or smelting, blasting, smoking, campfire cooking, or smithing. Sorry, smithing is not allowed. So if it is crafting, you cannot do XP reward. So I am going to make the crafting recipe. I want the middle one to be a sword made out of netherite, and this one to be a netherite ingot, this one to be a netherite ingot too. Where is it? Okay, here. And the above one to be a diamond diamond item. The next one to be a diamond too. So you can see this little box called is crafting shapeless. It means that, take an example, if you put a wood block into the crafting table in any slot, it will generate 4 wooden planks. So if this box is enabled, if you it doesn't need to be in order. If you take these items and put it wherever you want, this thing will be generated. So the crafting recipe, that in the crafting recipe, this will be the result. And I want it to, if you want to increase the amount which will be generated, you can increase this value, but I am going to keep it 1. And click save mode element. The next thing we are going to create is a creative tab. I'm going to name it, this is normally your mod name, so I'm going to name it custom mod creative tab. That's a pretty terrible name, but it will do for now. And the next one is the tab icon. So the tools tab has an icon of a golden axe, if I'm correct. The potions tab has an icon of a potion. So like that we must have an icon. So I'm going to select my sword right here, because that's a mod, that's the sword we created. So this one right here, example, when you open your inventory, the creative inventory, there is a search bar. So if you want your creative tab to have a search bar, this can be enabled if you have a lot of mod items. We only have 1 or 2 items, so I'm not going to enable it, and click save element. And the next one we are going to create is an entity which holds the sword, like King Arthur. Just kidding, he's dead. The next one, the one I'm going to use, I'm going to call it Lord Tutorial. Yeah, Lord Tutorial. So this is very advanced. Okay, let's go with it together. So the entity model here, the byte model is like the player. It's like Steve, but here you can define a texture. A texture is the skin for the byte model. So if you want the entity to look like Steve or Alex, just leave it as it is. Don't want it to look like Steve or Alex, so I'm going to select texture. But there's a problem. MCreator only supports 64 by 32 skins. But don't worry, we have a answer for that. Go to your browser, search. I think I need this Lord Tutorial skin to be something like Ghost. Let's select Ghost Minecraft skin. I'm going to go into a website, and let's see. Oh, these are pretty terrible skins, but I'm going to select this one right here. It looks cool. Okay, so these are 64 by 64 skins. Don't worry, I will teach you how to convert these things into 64 by 32. So the thing we are going to do is a website called mcskins.top. Link is in the description below. Then you will be prompted with this. Choose the file that we just downloaded. It's in the downloads directory. It must be, yes, this is the one. Open the file and convert it. Left click on the image to download it, and there you go. Go to the MCreator, select this add button, and select the 64 by 32 skin we just downloaded. It's in the downloads folder. It must be somewhere here. Okay, here it is. Select it, and nothing shows up, but don't worry. Click this empty box here, and then there you have it. Skin 64 by 32 png. Select that, and if you want your entity to glow, you must have a specific layer for it. This is advanced. We will talk about this later in another tutorial. So spawn egg options. So spawn egg options means that every entity in Minecraft has a spawn egg. So the first box is the main color, the second box is the little dots you have on the egg. So the main color I want to be some kind of blue, dark blue. The next one I want it to be red. Yeah. And the creative inventory tab is of course the custom mode creative tab. And I almost forgot, in the custom sword you must set the creative inventory tab to the custom mode creative inventory tab and save the mod element. After you've done that, after you set the inventory tabs, now if you want this entity to become a boss, select this. It will display a health bar like the ender dragon and the wither. I don't want this to be boss, so I'm going to uncheck this. So these are pretty optional. These are sounds you want to play when the entity is around. So I have already installed some sounds. I'm going to teach you how to do it. So in order to add a sound, click on this resources and import OGG sounds. OGG is a Minecraft file format. It contains metadata and lot of things. So if you want to convert to MP3 to OGG, go to a website called audioonlineconvert.com, convert to OGG. Again, link is in the description below. Choose your MP3 MP3. I'm going to check this demonic scream, it looks cool. Then I'm going to download it as an OGG file. So I don't need to download it, I already downloaded one. So I'm going to select this OGG sound right here. Where is it? Okay. Okay, demonic scream OGG, open. The sound registry name, this is a unique ID like it. So I'm going to set this to demonic scream of load tutorial. Okay, then select the sound category to ambient and then add the sound. Then under the living sound here, select these three dots and then you have it. I have two custom sounds. This is the one we just created. So we are going to select this one and then we are moving on to behavior. So if you want your entity to become a aggressive mob or passive creature, you can select this option. If it is aggressive, leave it as a mob. If it is passive, make it a creature. If you select a mob, iron golems will attack it. Okay, so choose it carefully. The mob, I want the mob drop to be the custom sword. The creature type, a ghost is obviously an undead creature, so I'm going to select that. If you leave it as an undefined creature, that's no problem. This just helps a little to the Minecraft code to understand what our entity is about. So the health value, a player has 20 health value and 10 hearts. So I want this entity to have 20 hearts. 20 hearts means 40 health value max. And the experience amount, I want to set it to 5. The experience amount is what the player will receive, the experience amount after killing it. The movement speed, leave it as it is. Attack strength, I am going to increase to 5. And the protection, I am going to increase it to 1. Then the knockback, I want this entity to have knockback. So knockback will be 1 and the knockback resistance 0.5 knockback resistance. Equipment, I am going to choose this one. So the first slot is for the main hand, second offhand, the rest the armor. You can see helmet, body, leggings, boots. I don't want the entity to have armor, that's why I increase these protections a little bit, because it ruins the skin of the entity. I don't want to make a ghost rideable by player, that will be stupid. So I'm not going to check this. This is not a water entity. It is a flying entity. A ghost is a flying entity. So if this is enabled, the mob will do flight attacks and it will make it harder to defeat it. I'm going to make this entity immune to lightning, anvils, tridents. I'm going to make this lightning, anvil and trident immune to this creature. So the particles, if you have some general knowledge, you can think that ghosts have a little bit of particles. So first we are going to check this box, spawn particles around entity, very important, or else particles won't be displayed. I am going to select the particle type to smoke large. So it's like a little smoke from a campfire. So the spawning shape is spreading. The radius, I want this to be a little close to the ghost, so I'm going to create it 0.2. The particle amount, I'm going to increase it to 5 because I want a lot of particles. And the next one is inventory. Skip it, trigger skip. The most important one next is the AI and goals. So as you know, AI is artificial intelligence. These are the tasks that are provided to the mob. So the first one is do attack with speed 1.2. Wander around enables walking. If yes, fighting attacker mobs back. You must fight the attacker mobs back. Okay. And call for help means it will call for help from other creatures. Yeah. So I'm going to check it. So it looks like a team effort. So look around, swim, float when in water. No, I want this entity to, whenever it touches water, whenever it goes into water, it must drown. So I'm going to delete this one. Just hit delete. That easy. Then animal task. If your mob is an animal, you can select this. This is like scratch, drag and drop. So I'm going to I'm focused on this combat tasks. I want this to goes to attack players. So I'm going to select this to player right here. Where player, here player. Then attack inside only or nearby only. If this option is enabled, if the ghost sees a player, it will attack it. If this option is enabled, the ghost will sense players nearby. I'm going to enable inside only. The next one is in combat tasks, I think. Do flight attacks. If you enabled your mob to be a flying entity, it is only available, it is a flying entity. You don't need to change anything here, just drag and drop. The next one is if you want your mob to run around when attacked. Example, if you hit a villager, it will go berserk. So if you want that type of reaction, just add this. I don't want ghost to be stupid, so I'm not going to add this. So fly around with speed, I want to do that. So if you are wondering why I am placing these little tasks on the bottom of this AI task list, because the ones in the top will have the higher priority than the ones at the bottom. So I want to give higher priority to attacks than wander around. So that explains it. The next one is this other tasks. I want this entity to restrict sun. If that happens, when it is daytime, they will go into hiding. So it's like a zombie. The next one, you don't need a ghost to eat grass. That's stupid. The next one is break blocks. I don't need this entity to break blocks. I'm going to leave it. Target tasks, I'm going to select this one. Follow mobs with same speed. Follow mobs with in the same species. And the village related tasks, I want this entity to break doors. Then it will be able to catch the player if the player is indoors. So it makes it harder to defeat this entity. So I'm going to go to the spawning tab over here. It's very important to enable this spawning here. And I don't want a ghost to despawn when idle, so I'm going to uncheck this. This one is the spawn weight. I'm going to give an example. You know, the pink sheep is rarer than the normal white sheep. So the pink sheep spawn weight is less than the white sheep spawn weight. So the smaller the spawn weight is, the rarer the creature is. So I want this ghost not to be rare, so I'm going to increase this a little bit. And then no, I want this to be rare because that sword is an overpowered item. I'm going to set it to 10. I want this to be a monster. And the group spawn, if the entity spawns, it will spawn in a group. So the minimal I will increase to 5, the maximum I will increase to 10. The biomes, I am going to add a biome called So if you leave this tab empty, there won't be any restrictions. But I want this one to only spawn in dark forests. You know the dark forests. So I want them only to spawn in dark forests. Let's see, there must be some forests here. Okay, I don't think there is a dark forest here. I'm going to select forest because it's darker anyway. And I don't want this to spawn in dungeons. And that's it. You have created your own mod. Then save the mod element. That's done almost. You see this little console tab here? Switch on to that. This is where all the tasks run. All the programming and all the nonsense run here. So if you want to create a more complicated mod, I'm going to create another tutorial about Minecraft modding, coding, but don't worry, there are tons of options for you to try here. I'm going to cover them in another tutorial. So we'll create a lot of mod packs together, and again switch to the console. You don't need to extract this to a jar file. Put it in the mods folder and start your Minecraft. You don't need to do that unga bunga all. So just click this icon, run client. Then it will run your Minecraft code mod for you. Then you will be able to test it in the MCreator. So let's do it. Okay, now it's time to test the mod. Just click this green icon here and it will launch Minecraft for you. Then switch to this tab console and then Minecraft will be launched.
2,000 years later.
Okay guys, so Minecraft is launched. Click this single player and I have already created a world for you. There won't be any world, so you have to create one. So make sure it is creative because we have some creative tabs. So it will take some time to load. Then let's test the mod out. Usually time lapse. Now here we are. So here's the world and you can see some swords have been added. Here I have already tested the mod. So okay, let's do it again. So you can see there's a new inventory tab here, custom mod creative tab. That's what we named the element. You can see the custom sword is here, the load tutorial mob is here. Then we are going to check the crafting recipe. So it includes a netherite sword, 2 netherite ingots and diamonds, 2 diamonds. Okay, so the mod is it appears to be working perfectly, but let's check it out. So here it is, the custom sword custom sword. So let's spawn the mob load tutorial mode. Yes, so here it is. So there are a lot of particles. I like it that way. And you can see he's holding the sword right there. And the skin is a very ghosty skin. So important note is, if you didn't convert the skin into 64 by 32, this entity will look like it will be crashed. The skin won't display perfectly. So make sure to convert it into 64 by 32 before doing anything. The link is in the description down below. So here's the sword. I'm going to kill this ghost here. Okay, died. So as you can see, as we specified, he dropped a sword. So it is in my inventory right here. And we set the special information to a sword created for the sake of the tutorial. You can see it is there. And the mod is working perfectly. Now it's time to check if the crafting recipe is working perfectly. So if it is, it must be able to craft this sword with 1 netherite sword in the middle, 2 netherite ingots at the either side, 2 diamonds. Then it must generate. As you can see, the custom sword is generated. Now I don't need these custom swords, so yeet one and yeet the other. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it. In the next video, I'm going to teach you how to create a dimension. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to create a hell dimension. I will be adding the hell dimension to Minecraft. So stay tuned to find out. I'm going to add 3 mobs and a lot of blocks, a lot of biomes. So stay tuned to find out how to add a hell dimension to Minecraft.